Music does something to you that almost nothing else does. A melody hits and your mood shifts before you've consciously registered the song. A rhythm starts and your body responds without asking permission. A song you haven't heard in 20 years plays, and a specific memory arrives with it. Complete, detailed, emotionally intact. No other sensory experience does this as reliably or as powerfully. And the question worth asking is why? Why does organized sound have this effect on a brain that evolved to hunt, to gather, to navigate social relationships, to survive? What is music actually doing in there? And how did humans figure out how to make it in the first place? The oldest musical instrument ever found is a flute, made from the bone of a vulture wing, discovered in a cave in southwestern Germany. Dated to approximately 40,000 years ago, it has 5 finger holes, carefully carved, precisely spaced. Researchers who have reconstructed it find that it produces a consistent, recognizable scale. Not random noise, not accidental sound. Music, deliberate, structured, intentional. Which means 40,000 years ago, a human being sat down with a vulture bone and spent significant time and effort turning it into something that made organized sound. Not a weapon, not a tool for finding food, something for making music. The implications of that are enormous. Because it means music was important enough 40,000 years ago to justify that investment. And if music was that important 40,000 years ago, the question becomes, how much older is it? The honest answer is that 40,000 years is almost certainly not the beginning. It is just as far back as durable instruments have survived. Bone lasts. Most of what early humans used to make music did not. Stretched animal skins, hollow gourds, bundles of reeds, wood, all of it gone. The instruments that survive are the exceptions. The ones made from material durable enough to outlast tens of thousands of years underground. Most musical traditions almost certainly predate anything we can directly recover, which means music may be far older than 40,000 years. Some researchers believe it predates modern humans entirely. That music, in some form, may go back hundreds of thousands of years, to a time before our species existed in its current form. But where did the impulse come from? What made the first human decide to turn sound into something structured and intentional? The most compelling answer starts with the human voice. Before any instrument, there was the voice. Humming, chanting, rhythmic vocalization. The capacity for this is built into human biology in ways that go deeper than culture. Infants respond to music before they can speak, before they understand language, before they have been socialized into any musical tradition. They calm when they hear rhythm. They engage when they hear melody. They move their bodies in response to beat. This response is not learned. It is present from birth, which suggests that the human brain arrived pre-wired for music. Not because music was always there waiting to be discovered, but because the same neural architecture that produces music is deeply connected to systems that mattered enormously for survival. Rhythm shares neural circuitry with movement. When you hear a beat, the motor regions of your brain activate. Not metaphorically, literally. The same systems that coordinate walking, running, and physical labor respond to rhythmic sound. This connection may have made rhythmic vocalization useful in a very practical way. When a group of people performs physical labor together, synchronization matters. Rowing, lifting, grinding grain, hauling materials. Tasks that require multiple people to move in coordination are significantly more efficient when those people are synchronized. Rhythm provides that synchronization without requiring constant verbal instruction. You don't need to say move together. The beat does it for you. Work songs appear in almost every culture in human history, not as entertainment, as coordination tools. Music may have started as a way to make group labor more efficient. But rhythm is only part of the story. Melody does something different. And what melody does connects to one of the deepest social functions humans have: emotional communication. Before language was sophisticated enough to carry complex emotional content, vocal melody could. The way someone's voice rises when they're afraid, falls when they're sad, quickens when they're excited. These patterns are not arbitrary. They are biological signals, universally recognized across human cultures. A rising, quickening melody signals urgency and excitement in virtually every culture on Earth. A slow, falling melody signals sadness or calm in virtually every culture on Earth. Music did not invent these signals. It codified them. Took the emotional information already present in the human voice and organized it into something repeatable, something that could be shared, taught, passed down. A way of communicating emotional states to a group simultaneously, more efficiently than words, more universally than language. There's a third function that researchers keep returning to: social bonding. Robin Dunbar, the same researcher who connected gossip to the evolution of language, has argued that music serves a similar function. It is a form of social grooming at scale. When a group of people sing together, something happens neurologically. Oxytocin releases, the bonding hormone, the same chemical that deepens trust between individuals. Endorphins release, the same chemicals produced by physical exercise and laughter. The experience of making music together produces a measurable neurological shift toward trust, cooperation, and social connection. In a small group, physical grooming could maintain social bonds. But as groups grew larger, you cannot physically groom everyone you need a relationship with. Music, like language, offered a way to extend social bonding beyond the physical limits of touch. Singing together is a way of telling everyone in the group simultaneously that you are one of them, that you belong to the same thing, that the same rhythms move you, the same melodies mean something to you. This is why music is present at every major human ritual across every culture: birth, death, marriage, war, harvest, prayer. Not as decoration, as the mechanism through which the group becomes, for a moment, one thing instead of many individuals. The vulture bone flute found in that German cave was not the beginning of music. It was the beginning of the evidence for music. The music itself is older, as old as the first human who found that organizing sound into rhythm and melody did something to the people around them. Something that words alone could not do. Something that made the group more coordinated, more connected, more willing to work together, more willing to fight together, more willing to grieve together and celebrate together. Music was not invented for entertainment. It was invented because humans needed something that could reach inside another person and move them, without touching them, without explaining itself, just by existing in the air between you. Basically, humans did not invent music. They discovered that their brains were already built for it. And then they spent 40,000 years finding better and better ways to use it.